Yeah, I wanted to talk about narcissism and death in the family. With my mom, she passed away 2 months ago or so, and when I got told the news, and I was in the library doing like I've got a tech business, so I was working on that, and when I got told the news, I quickly rushed down to the family home, and obviously, understandably so, everyone was crying, and but what I could see from like my siblings was that basically it was like it was a lot of theatrics. Like they were just fake tears, and I shouldn't say fake because obviously it's your mum, innit? But it's one of them ones where it's like I noticed it was like they were attention seeking, and um, I had mixed emotions. Obviously, it was a big blow that she passed away, but it was one of those ones where I didn't know how to feel when I first arrived at the house because it was like when your family have done you dirty behind closed doors, like with the police issues. Um, they were trying to destroy my life. Even tried to get me sectioned. Tried to get me sectioned. I might do a video about that at some point as well. Um, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. They have no empathy at all. And these type of things, only a narcissist can do these kind of things. To be honest, these such heinous, disrespectful things to your own family member. But when everyone's at the house, the relatives and cousins, all of them came down. They were crying, and I really saw how manipulated my cousins have been for all these years. One of my aunties was saying, "Oh, like your mum was one of the best people I ever knew in my life. She was so caring, etc., etc." But she doesn't know that she was co-signing the police being called on me for no real reason, just on purpose. She doesn't see. That's why I was thinking to myself, it was weird because I was the only one that could see the truth. Everyone's crying, oh, your mum was A, B, and C. She was so lovely, this and that, but nobody knew what was going on other than my other siblings and my dad, and they're not gonna tell the truth. They won't tell the truth about what happened. It's only me that actually is seeing the light about what's really going on. And I was just like, I don't know. I just didn't know what to make of it. Obviously, I was crying as well because it's a moment. But I just didn't know how to. I mean, the reason I wasn't so devastated is because I knew what she was like behind closed doors. The wickedness. You know, she'll play the good Samaritan to the public, but behind closed doors, her and the rest of the family, they were completely something else. And when my siblings were crying, I'm thinking to myself, "Sir, why are you lot crying? Where are these tears coming from? Because you didn't have any remorse or empathy for me when calling the police, trying to get me sectioned, changing the door locks on me. So where's this? I don't understand where these tears are coming from. That's why it was all fake. It was so fake because if you can do all these things to your own sibling and feel no empathy or remorse, you don't feel no way about what you've done, then where's all of these tears coming from about your own mum? I didn't understand it. I was genuinely confused. I'm like, what is? As in, are they genuinely crying, or is it just fake tears? You know, like They have no kind of they do not care, you know. And I think growing up in that family, there was so much chaos. There was so much chaos that I knew even from a young age there's something wrong with this family. I knew from a young age there's something wrong with this family. I didn't understand. I could pick up certain personality traits that were making them to be toxic. Like they were very controlling, they were manipulative. Um, but as I began to study more psychology and disorders, I started to really get familiar with the techniques they were using, like gaslighting, the smear campaign, triangulation. These are all techniques narcissists use, and I could see that my siblings, my family all together, they're all using these techniques. I might disclose these in other videos, what those techniques are. Um, but I knew as I got older, I began to see, the more that I became assertive and I started to stand up for myself, that was when the more drama started to increase. The more the drama and the chaos increased, the more things the more things worsened. There was one night I saw my siblings in the kitchen. They were all standing around the kitchen table and they were discussing me, like in regards to what we were gonna do about him. Like Chigo, that being me, he's like, they're like, like he's becoming. In other words, they were like, he's becoming too assertive. He's starting to stand up for himself. You know, how do we control him so we can always have our way with him? I don't think they knew I was there. The door was slightly open, and I could see them through the gap between the door. I could see them around the table just discussing me. It was a very disturbing sight to see when I look back at it. Very disturbing. Your own siblings all crowding around a kitchen table discussion as if like it was a witch hunt. That's almost how it felt like. It's like a witch hunt. Because they could see that I was waking up to the truth about what they was doing. I was becoming more enlightened to what was going on. And I was starting to call them out on their disrespect. I was starting to set boundaries and enforce those boundaries with them. And that was really, they did not like that. That was really bothering them. Because narcissists, they hate boundaries. They hate boundaries. They don't like, they see you as an object. So they see you as somebody that, you're like a tool to them to further their agenda or an obstacle to them to be eliminated. Those are the only two reasons. And so you setting boundaries is like an obstacle. They see you as an extension to themselves. So they see that whatever they want, they assume you should want. Whatever they like or dislike, they assume you should like and dislike. Because you're an extension to them. That's how they perceive you in their mind. Even though it's very warped and very skewed, but that's how they think. So the boundaries that I was setting was really that was causing so much issues with them. And it was crazy because I spoke to one of my twin brother's ex-friends, and he was telling me that your twin brother was causing so much issues in the circle. You know, his whole circle cut him off. And I was asking him, why did you cut my twin brother off? Why did you and your guys cut him off? And he was telling me the whole, even though I knew my twin brother was a toxic person, I wanted to hear his perspective. I wanted to hear his opinion on what happened those years ago. And he was saying, like basically your brother was just trying to steal money, trying to scam people, just causing issues, chaos, arrogance, just for the best part of 15 years. So I keep moving his phone about. The best part of 15 years. And that was an eye opener because for the first time, somebody outside of my family was seeing where I was coming from. So it's not just you going crazy and making it up. Someone's now vouching for you. They're saying they've seen the same thing in what your brother's doing. And that just gave me more evidence that, yeah, this family is toxic. And they're looking to bury her in her home country and in the village. And that's a bit dangerous to go there because these people have no empathy. You don't know what they're planning. God forbid, yeah, but they can set you up to get you imprisoned or even murdered. I'm not trying to jinx anything, touch wood. Just touching my cupboard, touch wood. But I think, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, they could set you up. That's why I won't be going there. It's a bit of a shame, but it's too dangerous. Because the only two reasons why narcissists will not murder you is because they didn't think they would get away with it, or there wasn't a reason to. I say that again. The two reasons why narcissists will not kill you is because they didn't think they would get away with it, or there was no reason to. Anything to do with morals, compassion, empathy, that is not even in the equation. It's nothing to do with morals. They don't care. And because I've been exposing them to other people, I think it's getting back to them. And they're thinking, shit, what are we going to do about this guy? Because this guy's not letting it go. You know, and they don't want to get exposed. That's why they've been telling me just to let it go, Chico, let it go. Let's move on. How can you? I've moved on personally, but how can you move on with your family if they called the police on you 5, 6 times on purpose? They changed the door locks on you, so you couldn't move back in to the house. They refurbished the house to stop you moving back in. They lied and exaggerated to the NHS in order to get you sectioned. And you're telling me to let it go and move on. Are you insane? Because they know what they've done. And they know that I've seen the light. And narcissists don't take any accountability. That's the thing. Even in regards to the police, yeah. When I was calling the police those times, they'd always accuse me of being this abusive person, but they would never tell the police what they'd done. They would never tell the police that they started the whole issue in the first place. That's the thing. They don't. With narcissists, yeah, they never tell you the full story. They're like children that haven't evolved. They basically have gone through arrested development. And the thing is that when they tell the police and when they smear your name to authorities, to your relatives, to people in the community, they'll play the victim and accuse you of being this like abusive, aggressive person, but they'll never tell anybody that what part they played for the situation to be caused in the first place. In regards to the police, luckily they could see what was going on. And I remember, I'll never forget this day, but one of the officers was telling me when speaking, he was like, oh, your family see you as like, you're becoming an alpha male. And your family's seeing this in you. And they see you as a threat. That's why they're calling the police on you. We know you haven't done anything wrong. We know that basically, like, we know that basically that they're playing the victim. You're trying to progress and better yourself. And they're doing this to bring you down. Because to be honest, you haven't even touched any of them. You've not physically harmed any of them. That's why we're not arresting you. Even one of them said to me, oh Chigo, just the week before, when these things were happening, he was telling me just a week before, we arrested somebody for murdering his own brother over ketchup sauce. Can you imagine? One of the policemen said to me a week before, we arrested somebody because he murdered his own brother over ketchup. So in other words, why is the family calling the police to this house? We haven't even touched any of them. He's basically trying to compare the situation to that brother murdering his own other brother over ketchup. He's like, bro, Chigo, this is nothing. You haven't even touched anything. So why are they doing this on our notes? You check the system. This address, police been called to the house on a number of occasions, and we look for any physical damage being recorded on the notes. It says no physical damage, no one's been hurt. So we've been baffled as to why, for no reason, police keep coming to this house. So yeah, they're doing it because they're jealous. It's envy. It's envy because they can see your potential. So they're trying to bring you down. You know, and this is just what it is. The only thing you can do, I said in the previous video, is to cut them off and move away. Rebuild your life. Create some goals for yourself to achieve. You know, make a vow to yourself not to end up like them. Because to be honest, their life's finished. If they don't get no actual psychiatric help, they're gonna continue to cause issues, destroy relationships, and to live a miserable life. Whereas me, being an empath, I will go on to create new connections, rebuild my life. But I'm not narcissistic. I have empathy. I'm able to see where another person's coming from. I'm able to put myself in another person's shoes. They don't. They don't have the ability. So I'm kind of grateful in a sense, you know. I'm kind of grateful. Yeah, I'll be talking about these videos a lot more. To do with narcissism and about my family as well, because it's about time I start disclosing things and start exposing certain things that's been going on, to be honest. But yeah, like, share, subscribe. Peace.